Hi guys, Susan here. Welcome back to my channel. I am finally going to give you a bit of a demo with the Moog Theremini that I rented from Long McQuade. I initially rented it on a half price rental day and got the first month for like $13, tax included kind of thing. It was the normal rental is $24 a month plus tax. That first month was a total of $13 and change, like I said. I ran out of time to play with it during that month. I've been super busy. So I went in and I renewed that rental for the full $24 plus tax. So this is nearing the end of my second month with it, and still I haven't really played with it a lot. I think this is an instrument that you really need to spend a lot of time with, and even the manual says the theremin has been described as one of the most difficult instruments to play due to the lack of a physical interface. Unlike an instrument that provides physical feedback as to where each note is, the thereminist must rely strictly on his or her ears to determine where each note lies in a space. Like, you don't contact this thing at all. It's kind of in relation to where your hands are to the pitch antenna and the volume antenna together, to find out where the notes are. And it's going to take a lot longer than I have, and I'm not going to rent it for any longer. I'm planning on actually taking it back tomorrow. So I thought I'd give you a brief overview of it so you can kind of get familiar with it, and if you're interested in more, I suggest maybe Googling it, looking on YouTube for more videos that have people that are more professional with it. This was just for me, for trying it out, and I thought I'd share it with you what my experience has been with it. So I'm zoomed in here to the display panel, and I wanted to show you the different settings it has and how you can manipulate them to get the sound you're looking for. There are 32 presets, the first being classic theremin, as you can see. The scale is variable as well, as is the root note, and the FX has a series of presets, off, short delay, long delay, and then it cycles, right? Off, short, long, off, you know. So anyway, the presets on the I've turned the volume off, by the way, so it doesn't squawk at us while I'm showing you things. Number 1 is classic theremin. Number 2 is super fat saw. IR 3, anti-wave, in orbit, ribbons, Charlie mute, that's kind of cool one. Elastic motion, flutterfy, ethereal, Wondertron, all your bass, square wavy, that's kind of funky one. Quiet time, did you know it could be quiet? I didn't. Evolution, and so on. Shaken. There are some really different strange stuff. Spin cycle, a wobbly saw, like there are so many. Organic, lost in fog, North Pole, Future War II Digitalis Burning Chrome. Oh, it's got some weird stuff. Low res and Magic Missile, and then you're back to classic theremin. Now the scale button, you can choose your scale. That will change in the display. You'll see Dorian, Farragon, Lydian, mix. I have no idea what these are. Major blues, minor blues, diminished, major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, Spanish I've never heard of, gypsy, Arabian, Egyptian, Ryuku, I don't know, whole tone, major third, minor third, fifth, chromatic, that one I knew, Ionian, Dorian, I've heard of Dorian scale too, but you can cycle through, and all of these have a different root note that you can choose as well. So the combinations are truly almost endless to get the sound you want to get. Now, when you unplug this, it loses all its settings. Every time you unplug it and plug it back in, you must recalibrate the machine, which you do by pushing the setup button and holding it, and it goes through a process of setting it up, calibration. Okay, so you press setup to begin, and it tells you press setup, then move at least 4 feet away. And this will count down, and it prompts you to go to the next step. So near pitch, press the setup, then hold your hand near the pitch antenna. And again, it'll count down to the next step, you know, and you set it up that way. And what you're doing is telling the theremin, okay, when I hold my hand this close to the pitch antenna, that's your highest note right there. And then you press setup, and it counts down, and you hold it the farthest you want away from that pitch antenna, and you're telling the theremin that's the lowest pitch over here. So it knows in relation to your hand what to play according to the scale you've set, the root note you've set, all the other settings you've put in place already. Basically what you're doing is telling it, okay, when I move my hand here, you're going to play at the loudest volume. That's on the volume antenna on the other end. And if I hold my hand here, it's going to be the lowest, quietest note that you can play. So you basically have to orient this instrument in your space so that it knows how to play. And then through that you work with the machine and find the notes and play the songs that you want to play, or create your own songs to play on this. And you can either listen through, I'm going to zoom out here so you can see this whole thing. You can listen through the small speaker right on the top here, or there are jacks on the back end that you can plug into an external powered speaker, so you can hear much bigger area. You can also use the headphone jack for private listening, or if you're in an apartment and you need to be quiet but you still want to play it, then it'll go straight to your headset, your headphones, and the volume knob will regulate for this onboard speaker and for the headphones only. If you plug in external speakers, you require the volume on them to moderate how loud it goes. So this is quite a complicated musical instrument. It's very futuristic looking. As you've seen, if you've seen my unboxing video, I included a clip in there of the inventor playing his theremin, and it was much older, like in 1920s, and it was much boxier and rudimentary than this one, which is more artistic and styled and futuristic looking. So anyway, I'm going to relocate the camera to give you a better view of me attempting to use this theremin, so you can see the hand movements, etc., that I'm using, and in relation to the instrument itself without being zoomed into the screen. I just wanted you to see that screen as it was. The manual is really handy in that it gives you some tips on what to do or how to learn to play it. This is the volume antenna over on here, and this is the pitch antenna, and set up an effect. Okay, it's still calibrated from when I set this up, so I didn't have to go through that setup process again. I've turned it down, so let's turn it back up. Oh yeah. Okay, so on the pitch antenna, the volume antenna, sorry, if you set your hand, this is quieter and this is louder. So the high note's over here, and then it goes to a low note over there. And I have this set up to auto mute, so if my hand goes out of range, it will automatically mute the theremin, which is handy, so that you don't make noises trying to cross the room. You can play it within the field it is set. Now, the manual again comes up with some very useful information, because I don't know about you, but this is not the standard. I mean, everybody knows what a guitar is, and you know, you can find all kinds of lessons and stuff for that, but theremin is not that usual. The manual says Clara Rockmore, widely regarded as the most skillful thereminist in history, utilized a technique with tiny knuckle extensions. She would start with a loosely closed fist, uncurling her pinky, ring, and middle fingers outward in small steps, while keeping her index finger resting on the thumb. As a beginning player, this is a good place to start. And it does. It takes very little movement to change the notes and the pitch. Can you see that I'm not moving my hand very much at all? And it's changing things. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's just extending my fingers. I'm not actually moving. That is a wild instrument, people. Anyway, they do give you expressive volume, vibrato. They give you a brief ceremony, brief history of the theremin. Like this is pretty complex as manuals go. And as I said, I have no doubt that to master this the way Clara Rockmore did would take a lot of intense study and playing with it and getting used to where things are and how to do it. Just time I simply don't have time to devote to right now. But this thing is so cool. I'm glad I brought it home and had it here for the time being, and played with it a bit in the privacy of my own home. Long McQuade are great in that way, that you are free to pick up the instruments and try them out and actually play, you know. This theremin was set very close to the door and calibrated such that when you walked by it, it squealed. It got your attention and brought you over to it, and that's what brought my attention to it. And that was the first thing I wanted to try with half-price rental month. So anyway, I hope I've given you just a little bit of a closer look at this. There is no way I can play a song on this thing yet. I am still really lost, okay? And this is 2 months in, and I haven't really spent that much time. Again, I've been super busy. And no doubt, I might just end up renting this again in the future, but right now it needs to go back. I need to focus on what I need to focus on. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.